Thank everybody for taking out the time to join us today. I'd like to introduce Anita Moore. She's the financial educator for the Credit Counseling Society in BC. She's been with this society since 2005 and has over 35 years of experience in the financial industry. Her extensive knowledge and facilitation experience makes her a very dynamic speaker, and her passion for financial literacy in her presentations is second to none. Anita, if you recall, and the participants, if you recall, she spoke at our 14th annual Pharmacy Technician Conference last year in 2019, and her presentation was very well received by our participants. In fact, the conference delegates asked for further informative sessions, and that's where this webinar is in response to. So I'd like to thank Anita for joining us and hand the session over to her.
Thank you so much, Belle. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be presenting again for you. Although not in person, that's okay. I think everybody's working under a new normal right now, and hopefully getting back to the old normal very soon. I'm sure a lot of you have been working at home, or possibly, I know I have been since March, and I haven't done any workshops in person. Now this is all done by webinar for me. So again, thank you for attending. And we'll get started with the presentation. So the Credit Counseling Society was formed in 1996. Our head office is in New Westminster. We have offices all over the Lower Mainland, and we go all the way across Canada. Right? We are the only nonprofit credit counseling organization in Western Canada. And our mission statement is we help, we educate, and we give hope. We help predominantly via our credit counseling appointments, which are at no cost to clients whatsoever. Credit counselors are able to meet with clients right now only over the phone, normally, and when we get back to normal, it will be in person as well. It's whatever makes the client feel easier, feels at ease. We offer free webinars, one-on-one counseling regarding debts, regarding budgeting. It can be anything that the clients are looking for. So the top reasons that we see financial difficulty right now, obviously, is reduced income, people using credit to supplement their income, and using credit for business expenses. We know a lot of people out there right now are struggling, and if they did have a business, they could be in a lot of trouble. A lot of businesses are closing, and it's quite sad. People are wondering what they should do when they do get their statements, because maybe up till now they've been able to defer a mortgage payment or put off their credit card payments. But we see people of all different walks of life. It doesn't matter what their income is or what they do or what their age is. We are there to help everybody. And again, it is free. So altogether today, this is really exciting. You're going to learn 75 different savings tips. We're going to talk about utilities, how to save on electricity, heating, water, TV, internet, communication, telephone, cell phone plans, food strategies to help you be more cost efficient when going to the store, and different apps available to help you save money on your groceries. We're going to talk about transportation, knowing your transportation costs. Do you walk? Do you take transit? Do you drive? Different tips on how to save money for going out, and knowing how to save money on clothing and fitness as well. We're going to talk about providing travel tips and how to save money before and while on vacation, and a whole bunch of other stuff we're going to talk about. The objectives, my hope at the end of the session, you're going to be able to add to your list of cost-saving strategies, apply tips to save money, and identify areas of cost savings. All right, so let's talk about utilities and telecommunications. So when we talk about light bulbs, we talk about the CFL, which is the compact fluorescent bulbs, or the LED bulbs, the light emitting diodes, I think it's pronounced. LEDs are generally more expensive. Those are the most recent ones, you know, the little, LEDs are more expensive than other lighting options. They use like at least 75% less energy, but they cost more because they last a lot longer. LED span is about 15 to 20 times longer than incandescent lighting, and about 3 times longer than your compact fluorescent bulbs, which is what we're used to. Buying Energy Star appliances. When you buy an Energy Star appliance, your product must go through energy efficiency testing before it gets that label. So if you're buying something with that label on it, you can almost be rest assured that they've done it, and it is definitely going to use a lot less electricity than something else. It also protects the environment from pollution. Unplug your chargers and your electronics. How many of you know that by leaving your cell phone chargers plugged in all day? I mean, I'm infamous for that, but how many of you know that that'll run electricity even when it's plugged in? That's why they always say, if you're not using, say, a toaster, a coffee pot, anything like that, to unplug it when you're gone, because it will use electricity. Use a power bar so that it will turn everything off at once. So again, compact fluorescent light bulbs versus incandescent light bulbs. So you can see the wattage, 60 watts compared to 14 watts. How many bulbs do you need for 25,000 hours of use? And the total purchase price and the total cost of electricity. It's definitely convenience as well, and better for the environment if we're using the compact fluorescent light bulbs. So let's talk about setting up equal payment plans. I don't know if you do that or not, but Hydro has an equal payment plan that you can set up, and it actually helps us to budget. So when you're setting an equal payment plan, what that means is that sometimes our hydro will run, we might run in the summer, I don't know, let's just say $100 a month, whereas in the winter it might be $300 a month. So if you give Hydro a call, they will take your average over 12 months and they will average an equal payment plan, so that come December, January, you don't have a higher bill. It also helps you to budget, so you know the exact amount that's coming out. And use a programmable thermostat, right? They have a timer. They allow you to preset your home's temperature during the day and in the evening, and lower your temperature at night when you're in bed. It can save you 5% on your heating bill if you're doing that. Lower it by 5 degrees when you're sleeping, and it can save you another 10%. Improve the efficiency of your heating system by vacuuming your baseboard heaters and your floor registers. That's something that we almost always forget to do, but it's no different than changing the air filter in your car. If it's not clean, it's not going to run as efficient. Turn down your water heater temperature. Make sure your doors and windows are airtight. And use window coverings. You can buy the ones that are blackout curtains, and they're also lined so that the back of the curtains, there's 2 ways that it'll work. In the sun, in the summer, it'll block out the heat and it'll keep your room nice and cool. And in the winter, it'll keep out the cold. And it does work, trust me. Turn off the water when brushing your teeth or shaving. How many of us just leave the water run? I don't know if it's just habit or what it is. And when you've got a toilet, there's 2 different kinds of toilets that you can buy. You can get a low flush toilet. And that basically means, and when you see a round button on the back of the toilet, and it's got 2 little buttons, 2 little things that you can push. A smaller one, like a smaller half moon, and then a bigger half moon. The smaller one is just for a quick flush. Just if we've just taken a quick pee. But The larger flush is when it needs a full flush. And that, believe it or not, will save you money. Water your lawn only 30 minutes a week. Install a low flow shower head. Now, the low flow shower heads are fantastic. They can account, the regular ones can account to 15% of your total household energy use if you're using a lot of water. Replace your conventional shower head, and it can be as simple as $15 to just replace it and get an energy efficient one. All right. Turn off your taps when you're brushing your teeth, and use your dishwasher fully loaded. In the summer, if you've got the heat on the dishwasher, turn it off. Open up the door, just let it air dry. That'll save you a lot of money as well. All right, TV and internet. I don't know how many of you maybe have had the opportunity to change your Cablevision package and perhaps lower it. If you've had, like myself, I've been with Shaw Cable right from day one. I've never had TELUS. And if you phone them, which I do about once a year, and I will tell them the honest truth. You know what? I got Shaw knocking at my door again because there's 5G coming in the area. The speed's going to be faster, and they're going to give me a low rate. The last time they reduced my bill by $60 a month because I said, hey, tell me why I shouldn't go to TELUS. So if you've been with the same provider, phone them. And if you have a high bill, say, you know what? I'm paying way too much and I need it reduced. And they will look at what they can do for you. They'll look at bundling your package and seeing where you can save. And take a look as well as what programs you're watching. You can reduce your bill by like $80 a month. You can use share your streaming services, Netflix. Okay. Netflix, you can get up to 4 people watching at the same time with their premium plan. My son actually just did this and said, he did it with me with Spotify. We were paying 10, he was paying 15 when we found out you could get for $15, I think it was, you can get up to 4 people on Spotify. So he said, well, why don't I just do that? So perfect. Okay, and you can do that with Netflix as well. And the cable companies, they'll allow you to use on demand, and quite often they're free. You can reduce the size and speed of your internet package if you find you've got enough on the go. Now, obviously, with working at home, you need something that's reliable with your internet. You need something that's a little bit faster. But maybe you're not going to need it after we return to the new normal. Use a mobile or a landline, but not both. Now, they always say practice what you preach, and I'm going to tell you right here, I have both. And the only reason I have both is because my cable provider, Shaw, says if you get rid of your home phone, it's only going to save you $12 a month, and the package that you're going to have to get without a home phone is going to be more expensive. So I'm like, okay, just leave it. I very rarely use my home phone, but if they're telling me it's going to be cheaper just to leave it, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it. But if it's not, again, talk to them. Tell them what you're using and what you're not using. And tell them the best plan, that's what you want. And you can compare your cell phone packages at cellphones.ca. And try getting Wi-Fi instead of using a data plan. And sometimes if you live in, let's say, my girlfriend lives in a condo, and she doesn't want to have to pay $60 a month for internet. So what she does for Wi-Fi is she went to a neighbor and said, hey, you've got Wi-Fi. And for some reason that she knew that they did. So she said, do you want to share your Wi-Fi with me and I'll split the cost with you? It was a win-win situation. So that's what they're doing. They're sharing the Wi-Fi and they're sharing the cost of it. Food. Everybody loves food. And I don't know if you've been listening to the news, but they did say that food's going to cost an average, what was it, like 700, almost $1,000 a year more this coming year, because food prices are going up. And like somebody said on the news, the food prices don't just go up like, 2%. They go up 5 to 10%. And it's definitely not something that keeps up with the raise in the cost of living. So we want to be really conscious when we're shopping for food. We want to be organized. We want to know what our inventory is. Before you go shopping, create your plan, create your meal plan, so you can say, you know what, this week we're going to have pasta, we're going to have tacos, we're going to have fish. And when you're meal planning, look through your cupboards and your fridge to see what you've already got, so that you're not getting to the store and saying, I don't remember if I have this or not, and buying it. Okay? The other thing as well you can do is, instead of meal planning and saying, well, we're going to have this, now let's go to the cupboard and see what I need to pick up. Flip it around and say, let's start with the cupboard and the fridge. Let's see what we can make from what we have in the cupboard and the fridge. And let's pick up whatever else that we don't have, that we need. That's a great way to go through your cupboard so things aren't expiring. And especially if you're on a budget and your income is reduced and your food budget is low this week or for this grocery shop. Writing it down, having a plan is going to help you stick to your budget. Now, have any of you heard of Flash Food? Flash Food or Flip app? Anybody heard of Flash Food and Flip? Val says yes. I'll just type it in the chat. So we're talking about Flip and we're talking about Flash Food. No, you know what? That's not what I want to talk about right now. I want to talk about Pick and Pay and Collect and Pay. Click and Collect. Does anybody not know what these are? So Pick and Pay is when you pick your order online. Okay, great. So I'm going to explain it. Where you pick up your order, you order it online. You pick a time when you want to go pick it up. You drive there. You park in the parking spot out front of the store. I use Superstore all the time for this. And they bring out your groceries. Sometimes there's a $3 charge during the week. Sometimes it might be $5 on a weekend. The Click and Collect is the same thing. They're just different names, and different stores use different wording. So if you were able to think about placing your order online, right off the website at home, and you said, I'm going to order this. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow between 3 o'clock. Oh, Val says it's free at Save On. There you go. I'm going to pick it up between 3 and 4 or 3 and 5. I want you to think for a minute what benefits that might have for you. Now, can you see the poll on the screen? What I'd like you to do is to think about what the benefits of using the Pick and Pay or the Click and Collect might be. I see some of you saying it's going to help you stick to your budget. Absolutely. You can't impulse shop. All of the above. Perfect. We'll just give it a couple more seconds. All right, so let's share the polling results here and see what it looks like. Okay. So all of the above, 60% of you said all of the above, absolutely. And for myself, I don't have kids. However, I'll tell you right now, if I had little kids and they had this when my kids were young, I would never have to drag my kids through the store, because that was absolutely the worst possible thing you could ever do, especially if you had to pick them up at daycare and then take them grocery shopping. Oh my gosh, just ruined everybody's evening, including yourself. Okay. And now, when I do these workshops, so I used to do them in person. So I might do this workshop in person, finish at 7 p.m., and then have to go home. I would put my order in so I could just drive up and it would be ready. If it was pouring rain, I didn't have to run in the store. It helped me stick to my budget, absolutely. You can't run in and just pick up, oh, you know what, I'm in a hurry, I just take this, this, and this. Okay, all of the above. And especially now, I don't go to the store very often because I don't want to be around people. That's just my own personal thing. I just stay home. Okay, so use Pick and Pay, Click and Collect if you can. Okay? Make your own food packages. Create freezer packs, snack packs for the pantry. And how many of you, I know when my kids were small, I don't know if you have small kids. I know, Val, you've got a couple of teenagers. Well, my boys used to eat me out of house and home. And it never failed that when I went to the store and I came home and I packed the groceries and I put the stuff in the pantry, within 2 days, everything was gone. So I got smarter than my kids. I started leaving everything in my trunk. Even milk, like especially on when it's cold now, leave the milk in your trunk. If you're buying pop juice, leave it in the trunk. You bring in what you need, what your kids need for snacks for the week, and you put them in little baggies and you say, that's your snacks. Once it's gone, there's no more. Because you know very well that if you start buying chips and anything, you know, especially coming home after school, they're just going to raid the closet, raid the pantry. Smoothies, again, freeze the ingredients, veggie packs, batch cook meals. So when you come home from the grocery store, prepare all your food, get everything all together, cook some of it, pre-cook some of it, and so that it's in the freezer, so that it's a lot quicker to be able to prepare it. So you're not tempted to say, we don't have the time to be cooking. Okay, because by the time we thaw it out, cook it, we can say, well, it's already half cooked. There's some grocery shopping apps here that you're really going to find that will really help you. Checkout 51 was the very first cashback rebate app, and it's still one of the most popular. And what you do is you purchase your groceries, you come home, you snap a photo of your receipt, and you can put it into Checkout 51. And if anything that you bought had a coupon, you start collecting the discounts, the rebates, right in your account. Price matching. Walmart's not price matching anymore. And that makes me really mad, because I used to love to shop at Walmart and just be able to say, okay, you go into your Flip app. Flip is where you can search and put in whatever you're looking for. If you want to put in Pepsi, my son used to say, Mom, if you're going out somewhere, can you see buy me some Pepsi? First thing I did is I went to my Flip app, F-L-I-P-P, and I searched for Pepsi. and it's going to tell me where the Pepsi's on sale. I just snapshot it, go to the cashier, and I get that discount. Do that with your other stores. Save on matches prices, as well as Superstore. Val says she uses Reebee as well in some stores. So that's excellent. Most bigger stores will provide a price match guarantee, as well as if you have something that rings up higher at the till than what is listed on the shelf. You go to the till, the shelf said $2.99. It doesn't ring up on sale, it rings up at $3.99. You are to get that item for free if it's under $10. And most supermarkets and grocery stores will abide by that. They'll just tell you right off the bat, you get that item for free. If it's over $10, normally what they'll do is they'll give you the discount, like the difference. If it came in at $11 and it should have been, at 13 or whatever, they'll just give you just the $2 difference. They're not going to give it to you for free if it's over $10. But keep that in mind. Okay. Eating in, ordering takeout, going to restaurants. Okay. Limit your restaurants to 1 or 2 times a month. Even now, a lot of people aren't going to restaurants, and we're finding we're saving a lot of money. Have water. I don't know how many of you drink pop, but sometimes it's more expensive to have a pop than it is a beer. It's actually quite ridiculous out there. I've actually, unless I'm going out for a nice dinner and going to have some wine, I'm drinking water in the restaurant. Have dessert when you get home, or just take it out. Just go out for dessert instead of going out for the whole meal. Restaurant portions can be really big. Share it. If you're going to order in, pick somewhere that's got a sale on, that's got, but like Pizza Hut quite often has the buy one pizza, get up to 3 or 4 others for $5 each. And you're like, well, wow, I don't need that much pizza. And one Pizza Hut pizza is like $25. It's really expensive. But if you really want to have the Pizza Hut pizza, I really like it. Order 2 or 3. Dollar cost average, bring your cost down, and freeze it. Or have it for lunch for a couple of days. Nothing wrong with buying one, get one free. Freeze the other one. It's going to save you some money in the long run. Coffee, lunch. How many of you spend a lot of money on coffees? $2 a day. Still tastes like Pizza Hut pizza when it thaws out. Yeah, and you know what? And some people like it microwaved. I don't like it microwaved because it tends to just come out a little bit soggy. I just like to either eat it cold or throw it in the toaster oven. $2 a day for coffee is $730 a year. We've got a really good webinar on food and finance that is somewhat like this. It's going to show you a lot of tips on how to save money. Some people, instead of going out for coffee, they'll buy a tin of Tim Hortons. When I go to Mexico, there's always somebody in our group that brings a tin of Tim Hortons to Mexico. Okay. Make your own tea at home. Save on lunches. And a lot of times it's habit. That's the reason that we're going to, when we go to restaurants, it's because we're driving through. We're driving right past them. It's like, oh, there's Tim Hortons. I'm just going to pull in. And that might be something that we do all the time. Is, oh, you know what? I'm not going to make my coffee because I know I'm going to go right past Starbucks on the way to work. That's a habit. And if you find you're getting into that habit, take a different route to work so you're not tempted to go in there. Okay. Transportation. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but I've managed to say, yeah, yes, Gail, it will take a lot of willpower, but you know what? It's something that you can save money on. If you really need to save money, that's the very first place we go to. Is usually, a lot of times they say the place you can save money to is what goes in your mouth. Okay, because what goes in our mouth is not always what we can afford. We just do it because it tastes really good. So consider all of your options. I know for me, working at home, I can go like a month on one tank of gas. I just don't go anywhere. How many of you are working from home and have been and changed your car insurance? Did any of you do that? If you were driving to and from work and you're not doing that anymore, you can take that part of your car insurance off and it'll save you money. Okay. Consider your other options. Walking, cycling, carpooling is fantastic for saving money with different people. Okay. So if you've got somebody going to work where you work or going by there or whatever, and you can help them pay for gas, and you take turns driving, whatever, it's a win-win situation. Okay, car sharing services, public transportation. And yeah, it's a lot less stress for driving. I know when I was about to leave the credit union and I wasn't sure where I was going to go, and I thought, well, if I go downtown Vancouver, I live in Port Coquitlam, I can look at taking the West Coast Express. There's no way I'm going to get on the SkyTrain. That was just a personal thing. But I could walk to the West Coast Express and I could sit there and I could read a book or something on my way to work and on my way back. And I thought, look at the stress that would relieve from my day-to-day driving. You could plan your shopping list as well. All right, so look at the cost of commuting to and from work and what really adds up. And think about the cost of driving your car and considering how much making a change you could save. And if you have two vehicles in the home, do you really need to have two? Could you, if you did get rid of a vehicle, and quite often when I did have people come into my office, I need my car, I can't get rid of my car. Okay, what's the reason? Well, I'm working and I don't get off work till 10 p.m. and I don't want to walk. Absolutely, I wouldn't want to walk either. But how much would a taxi cab cost you? Would it be a lot less than $1,000 a month? Well, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so having a car can be very, very expensive. And you can see from what you're looking at now, it's a great thing as well to share this with other people. If you have people in your family, if your kids are just so anxious that they just want to drive, show them this. If you really need a car, buy only what you can afford. Review your budget before you make a purchase to make sure you can afford the payment. And if you think you can afford a payment of, say, $500 a month, save $500 a month for the next 4 months before you go shopping for that car, and make sure you can really do it. Buy a reliable used car instead of a new car. When we talk about good debt and bad debt, a car is a bad debt because the car depreciates the minute you drive it off the lot if it's brand new. If you're getting financing for it, it's worth so much less when you drive it off the lot, because your car you might have bought for $20,000, but geez, you walk away and by the time you pay the documentation fee, the taxes on the vehicle, you're already in the whole $5,000. Lower your payments if you can buy the vehicle up front. Okay, even better, because then you're not going to, if you can buy the vehicle up front with cash, obviously do it, because then you're not going to have a car payment to worry about. Or focus on, I'm going to get this car and I'm going to pay it off in 1 year. Newer cars are going to have to follow the maintenance plan. And sometimes to get the warranty, you have to have that maintenance done at the car dealership, where a mechanic might charge you $60 an hour, the dealership's going to charge you $120 an hour. Ask for more insurance discounts. Sometimes if you have an anti-theft, if you have a camera, if you have a club, anything like that as well, will give you discounts on your car, on your insurance. All right, here's a big one. Personal care, entertainment, clothing, fitness, travel, celebrations. Makeup. Mixing foundation with your moisturizer or your sunscreen is going to help lower the cost of your foundation. And we know how expensive that can be. Okay. Most people will buy new makeup before actually using the product. If you're using a mailing list, if you're doing a subscription, be very careful with that, because there's a lot of makeup subscriptions out there right now, or skin products. And all you need to do, if you've not done this and you haven't noticed this, if you Google Clinique or face cream or top 10 moisturizers, the next time you go on social media, guess what's going to pop up in front of you? Oh, you were looking for moisturizer. Guess what? And they're sending you now, they're offering to send you a package. We're going to send you a $120 package for $19.99. And it's a trial subscription. And then after that 30 days, you can cancel. Well, how many people cancel? People don't cancel. And then all of a sudden, that $19.99 trial becomes $39 or $49 a month, and you're stuck to it. Be very, very careful what's out there. You can get your haircuts cut almost in half the price of your haircut at a salon school, same as massage therapists. You can go to the School of Massage. I think there's one in Westminster, actually. And try and use less product. And I know a dentist will say to you, you don't need to fill the whole toothbrush with toothpaste. Just put a little dab on there. That's all you really need. And shampoo, anything like that that you can get. If you're using hand soap, try watering it down just a little bit before you throw out the container that you can't get to the very bottom. And it's still really thick. Just add a little bit of water. All right, entertainment, Zoom, game night, Groupon and Living Social. Those are both really good coupon sites that will give you discounts on anything you want: massages, hotels, nails, hair, going out to restaurants. But again, be careful, because you're going to find yourself, or you may find yourself saying, wow, that's a great deal. And before you know it, you've signed up, they're filling up your inbox, and you're, wow, that's a good deal. I think I could go to that restaurant one night. And you know what? 60% of coupon buyers from Groupon and Living Social don't end up using them, because they just sit there. They just think it was a good deal. It's like going into a store and seeing, oh, you know what? Last 3 left, you better buy it now. So you buy it because you want to get in on the deal. And you go back the next day and they've loaded the shelf again. It's like, what the heck? Okay. Libraries, free community events. Theaters are really cheap. Right now, I know they're closed, but when they open up again, they were offering really cheap nights. It was one of the safest places you could go. You could get a whole theater with like 40 people in it. Okay, but use the cheap nights. Clothing, consider secondhand or consignment. Sell any of your unwanted clothing on Facebook, on Marketplace, on Craigslist. Take it to a consignment shop. Anybody who's needing money, who's needing clothing at a discounted price, you're going to help a lot of people. And instead of donating it, you're going to get some money back. So that's going to help you as well. Using reward miles, air miles, pardon me. If your clothes are getting holes in them, are the sewing's coming undone? Can you fix it yourself? Can you get it retailored? Follow the washing instructions. Don't dry your clothes. Drying your clothes in the dryer, it's going to wear them out a whole lot faster than if you put them in the dryer for 5 minutes and then hang them to dry. Don't let them stay in the dryer. Okay? And wash and dry them inside out, especially pants. Always wash your clothes in cold water. They don't feel soft, Belle, but as you find that just as they're about ready to dry, put them back in the dryer for 5 minutes with that bounce sheet, with a tennis ball or a dryer ball, and it will make them feel soft again. I know exactly what you're talking about, especially, I mean, when I grew up, we always used to, well, even when I had little kids, I had a clothesline and I hung my clothes out there, and you brought them in and they were just as crisp as can be. They would just stand up in the laundry basket. But if you threw them in the dryer with a wet face cloth for 5 minutes, the wet face cloth is going to get hot and it's going to create steam, and it will take the wrinkles out and it will make them a little bit softer as well. And the dryer balls, a tennis ball works great. It will fluff up your clothes. Okay, so they don't come out all wrinkly. Fitness. A lot of fitness memberships being canceled now. Are you using your fitness membership? And if don't sit there and say, but I will, but I will, but I will. And take a look at how much it's costing you to pay for it if you aren't going. Buy your own bike at home, buy your own treadmill. As long as you're not going to use it for a clothes rack and hang all your clothes on it to dry, which a lot of people do. Does your employer maybe pay a part of your fitness? Do you get an allowance, a fitness expense every year of a certain amount? Take advantage of that. Ask about discounts. Anywhere you go, are you offering any kind of a discount right now? Travel. All right. Search in private and incognito mode. All right. So let's see here. Can you see the poll in front of you? Let's answer this question. Do you know what incognito mode is used for when shopping online? Do you even know what it is? You've got 9 votes in. Where's the rest of you? Are you awake? It's a few more. So it looks like we'll give you 2 more minutes, or 10 seconds, let's say. Okay, all right, thanks for that, Val. All right, so basically when we show the results of the poll, 70% said no, they don't use it or they don't know what it is. And some people say, yes, they do. I'm going to explain to you exactly what that is. And if you shop for travel, it's really going to help you. So incognito, when you're shopping on your laptop or on your computer, it uses cookies, which means that it remembers everything that you're shopping for, whether it's a hotel, whether it's a flight. So if you're shopping for a flight and every day you go in and you put that same flight in there, it's going to go, oh, look, she's still shopping. Maybe we'll bump up the price a little bit and she'll buy it now. If you go incognito, which is the 3 dots at the top right-hand corner, some of it may be a star, just click it, drop down, and it will say search in private mode. It will say incognito mode, or you can use Control Shift N. Okay, Control Shift N. What that means is you are using a whole new private screen and it's not being saved into cookies. So nobody's going to know when you're shopping, when you're looking at that flight, that you've been looking for that before. And chances are that flight could be a lot lower than what you were looking at the day before because it knows what you were shopping for. It's a great thing to try to use it if you remember. Okay. The question is that for travel or any search on the internet? I use it for any search on the internet, even Amazon. Do you know that if you leave something in your Amazon cart, you're getting an email like within an hour, half an hour, if you close your app, that says, oh, you left something in your box. Or the next day it says, oh, you were shopping for this and you were shopping for that. Okay. Call your hotel directly if you're looking for good rates on hotels. What I would do is look on Expedia, look on Travelocity, wherever you like to look for those sites, and see what they're offering for the hotel rate, and then call the hotel and say, this is what they're offering. Can you match it? Quite often they will match it or they will beat it. Children's parties, I'm just going to be aware of our time here. We're running close to the end, and I want to make sure that you are allowing times for questions. If you have questions, if you are on chat, please go ahead and put it in the chat and we'll answer them right away. And if you're calling in, you can just wait. We can hopefully open up the line and you can ask questions. All right. Children's parties, have them at home. Find free days at the zoo. Get out that old hose and sprinkler. Sign up for birthday rewards. I know when my kids turned a certain age, we always used to do birthday parties at a bowling alley. And nowadays, that birthday party doesn't cost $100 plus pizza. Right now, by the amount of kids, and your kids want to invite the whole classroom, and then they're getting, well, when my kids were little, they were little $10, $15 store gifts. Now it's probably $25, $30 for your kids. If you said to your child, okay, you're asking for a really expensive gift for your birthday, what about if we just invited just a few friends over for a sleepover or for a movie night, we'll order pizza, and the amount of money that I would put towards your birthday party, I'll give it to you by buying you a big gift. When they get older, that's what they're going to want. Try gift exchange. Only agree to give to gifts for over the holidays. If you can agree to just do gifts for kids, adults don't need gifts. If we want something, we'll buy it, right? Give gift cards. You can do e-gift cards now, save money on postage. Invite friends over when we can, when we get back to the new normal. Or, you know what you can do, just like we're having to do now at Christmas, is we're going to hook up the laptop with the HDMI cord. We're going to have it on the big screen, and we're going to have breakfast, and we're going to open up our gifts. And we'll have dinner, and we'll have happy hour, and that's the way it's going to have to be this year. But you know what? It's going to be cheaper. And if you have kids, they're probably going to love staying home and not have to drag them out everywhere you go. Right? So have a plan. That's the main thing. So now you're able to apply tips to save money. Examine your spending to find savings. You've got 75 different options here to choose from, and every little bit goes a long way. Take a look at your spending. Find out where you can save. Okay, utilities, communication, food, transportation, entertainment, personal gifts, special occasions. Don't let convenience costs eat away at your savings. Look for free or low cost entertainment. Create a weekly meal plan and stick to it. And if you don't have the money to buy something and your kids want something, you say, just like when I grew up, my mom used to say, I don't get paid till Friday. Okay. She went grocery shopping on Saturdays, and we knew that. You didn't ask for anything during the week. Gifts from the heart are priceless. This is one thing that I did many years ago when my kids, they're older, they're young adults, they keep on wanting to buy you gifts. And I said to them, you know what I would just like is for you to save your money and maybe come over and help me. So on Mother's Day, they come over. One of them takes me shopping for my plants. The other one and his partner, they help me plant all my plants on my deck. And then they order in dinner and buy dinner, Chinese or whatever it is. And that's a wonderful day. It saved them a lot of money. And look what I'm getting out of it. I get a nice clean deck with all my, not clean, but I get all my flowers planted and everything, right? So we've got our newsletter, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And just before I let you go, we've got a contest going on. I'm not going to let you go because we need time for questions. We've got a contest going on that you can win a $50 Sobeys gift card. All you have to do is comment. I'm just going to back up one screen here. Go to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and find one of, not find, you'll see one of our posts that we put on there. And all you have to do is comment and use the pound, learn with CCS, and just put a comment on there of one tip that you learned today. And you'll get your name entered into a draw. This is a short month, December, so it's a great month to do it because we're not going to be teaching in the last week and a half. And if you do one for each, it's going to give you 3 entries. If you need me to go back to that slide, I will go back to that slide. All right. And one last thing, I don't know, Val, if you have a survey that you do, you can let me know. Or we have a survey here that if anybody would like to do it, let's see here, Val says, go back. Oh, here, we can use hers. All right, go back to the slide. Go back to the slide. What's this? Wynette, you've got a different, sorry, I'm not understanding. You made a spelling error there, I think. Which slide did you want me to go to, Wynette? The previous one back from here? That one? So you can take a picture of it. If you want, you can let Val know and I can send you these links, but if you can take a picture of it, that works great. Yes, I will send you, Val, a copy of the presentation and you can share it with anybody that you want. And I'm just going to do one more thing here is our survey. If you're able to hold your camera up to the QR code, that will automatically take you to our survey. Or I'm going to put in the chat, I'm going to put the link to the survey. And if you could please complete that for me, it literally will take you a minute and it will help me for the presentation. It will help Val know that, you know, did you enjoy it? Are there any other topics that you would like to learn or like to have a presentation done for? We've got many topics. And I talked about this at the conference last year. We've got the truth about credit, which a lot of people were really interested in hearing about. Budgeting 101. Okay, there's a whole bunch that we can take. But, oh, you can't see any slides? I'm sorry. Let me see what's happened here. Wonder what happened. Can you see that now? All right, so does anybody have any questions? Don't be shy. Oh, I guess it helps if I do unmute you all, don't I? Doesn't it? All right, so now you're all unmuted. Ask away. Anybody have any questions?
I think most of them have been answered during the session as well, so maybe not.
Oh, we've got question 5 has 4 label choice circles, but 5 available. Oh, that's interesting, Nelson. Thank you for telling me that. I'm not sure why that is. Does the rest of it look okay? You'll have to let me know. Perfect.
Is that
Excellent.
is that on the survey?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I can just, oh, there's an echo.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make a comment on one of your earlier slides. Something that I actually wasn't aware about, and my 11-year-old taught me, is that I've been doing a lot of Christmas shopping online,
Mhm.
and when you go into the cart, she showed me how to use this new app called Honey. I don't know if
Honey.
anybody's used that,
Okay,
but
I'm writing that down.
it gave me instant sort of, it did a search on the web or whatever it does in the background, and it looked for any coupons or any discounts, and it just automatically applied it in the checkout, which I thought was cool.
Oh, that's excellent.
So I just
So,
wanted to share that.
so how does it allow, so you're in the cart and then you just go, and then you go over to honey.ca, or how does it?
I think it's a web browser. So I had just downloaded it, and then another day I was just shopping, and somehow it just popped up and it did its thing. So I'm not very
Okay.
technical, so it just did it.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's great information. That's always great information to know. And
I think
that's
it's
why.
it's a
That's okay.
browser extension, so you can install it onto your browser.
Okay.
There we go. Thank you, Nelson.
Oh, thanks, Nelson. That's great. Thank you. Because you know what? The more tips we get, that's why I love presenting these webinars. We get to share information, and everybody's always got something that they can share. And I always tell people, I learn something new every day, and it doesn't matter how long I've been doing this. There's always something new we can learn, and it's always great information, and we can pass on to people. And that's super, Val. Thank you for that. I've written that down.
Okay, we have 3 more minutes if there are any other questions from anybody. If not, what I'll do is say thank you, Anita, for a great presentation. It was definitely informative. I hope the group felt the same, and I'm going to hand it over to Yanette. Yanette, are you there?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you as well, Anita. These are really great tips, and I can soon put some into action. I think one of the suggestions I really liked is going through my food cupboard first instead of the other way around. I think I always decide based on what I feel like eating, so I think this is a really good tip to save.
Great.
So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
I also want to say a quick note to everyone in attendance, if I can have a chance really quick, to my technician brothers and sisters. We are and will remain resilient through these very challenging times in our careers. Please continue to be kind to everyone as we get through each day, as we are all experiencing this unprecedented and life-altering event together. Take good care, stay safe, and enjoy the holiday season, and use these wise tips that Anita has imparted on us today. Thank you, Anita.
You're welcome, and thank you all for attending. I really appreciate your time that you've given today, and I really hope that you did find it valuable.
Sure, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I will send the other topics. Oh, I see you're wanting to reach out for help with the other topics. Absolutely. I can also send that to you, Val, as well as a copy of the survey, if you like, to help with other topics in the post-presentation survey. Yes. Yes, I think, Val, you've got a copy of all the workshops anyway, don't you? A list of all our workshops? Perfect. Excellent. All right. Well, if that's it, are we done, Val?
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.
All right. Thank you. And thank you again for having me. Stay healthy, everybody. Stay healthy and happy holidays.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.